All right, shalawam. First off, I want to say our praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Qudash. Double honor to our apostles and elders at GMS, to the elect doing the work in sincerity and in truth. Shalawam. This is GMS precepts and there's our chad here. And real quick, as you could see, I want to go in because we had mentioned this in at camp, and we were going into the similarities between ancient Egypt in America, right? As you can see, I pulled up the Oscar award. First off, let me get this. I'll read this scripture to sort of tie it together, right? So this is so when at camp we were going into first off, America in the scriptures is not known or called America. It's known as other things, right? One of them is Egypt, or spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. Um, It's known as Babylon the Great. It's known as that great city. It's known as the land or daughter of the Chaldeans, right? Um, the land of Edom or whatnot. So America is referred to as not America or USA in the Bible, but it's referred to other names, primarily names or kingdoms that they follow, right? And one of them is Egypt, right? And here it is. We have Revelation 11 and 8. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city," right? That great city. That great city is speaking about America, right? It says, which spiritually is called what? Sodom, right? This shouldn't be a brain buster of why America is referred to as Sodom, right? It's something, something that they push heavily in the society. Um, um, you look at cities like San Francisco, Atlanta, New York City, haven for sodomites, right? So this spiritually, as well as all 50 states, man, you can't, they're everywhere, right? So that's not really up for debate, right? So spiritually, it's called Sodom, right? Also, in Sodom and Gomorrah, a little history on Sodom and Gomorrah and the other and the neighboring cities, totaling five. It wasn't just homosexuality. It was basically it was sexual immorality, which included things like necrophilia, having sex with a dead body or a corpse. Recently in New York, I think I did a video on it. Recently in New York, some guy that died on the subway. Not only was he robbed after he was dead, a guy came and had sex with him, a dead corpse, right? So I mean, there's things that, I mean, as crazy it might seem, there are people out there like that are into that, man. Right? So this place is spiritually Sodom, right? They practice a lot of sexual immorality. Okay, um, these celebrities and these people um in these societies, they practice pedophilia. Pedophilia is a big thing. You had the situation with Pizzagate a few years ago. So yeah, this place is spiritually Sodom, right? And it says and Egypt, right? Which is what we're about to go into. This place is spiritually referred to or called Egypt, right? And that's what we're going into. So let me go to this Oscars, right? So we're going into the Oscar, right? So the word, actually, let me go to, I got pictures here. Here's some pictures of the Oscar, and it's similarly, look at this. Ooh, it's very similar to Egyptian deities, right? You have the Egyptian deity or god Ptah, which is known as, he's known for being the god of creation. This is Oscar, which they give out to celebrities. And then you have Osiris, right? Very similar to that. He's, they're standing and they're holding a staff, right? Just like the Oscar, he's standing, he's holding a staff, just like Osiris, he's holding a staff, right? Um, then you have this is the Egyptian god Sokar, right? You know because he's usually depicted with a, a falcon head, a white hat, and he has a whip and a spear. Okay, and this is another depiction of Ptah, the god of creation, and this is once again this is the Oscar, right? Um, and these are more pictures here. I don't know what the fuck is that about, right? These are more pictures here, blah blah blah, right? So let me go to what was it? Let me go to Sokar, right? So Sokar, Egyptian god, and you can see the name Oscar in there. It's an Sokar is an anagram of Oscar, right? Oskar, right? That's Oscar, Egyptian god, right? So some history on Sokar. It says Sokar, also known as Seeker or Sokaris, was a significant god in Egyptian mythology, particularly associated with the Memphite necropolis, and the funerary cult. He was often depicted as a mummified figure with a falcon head, and he played a key role in the transition of the soul and the rebirth of Osiris, right? So that's why you saw the picture of Osiris. He's very heavily associated with Osiris because according to Egyptian mythology, he played a role in the rebirth. If you know about Osiris, it's the same. It's the same as was Isis, Horus, and was this Seth? It was Set. I always confuse. It's three. I always confuse the names, but the stories are similar to the false breakdown or the false false breakdown of the immaculate. That's where they get the false breakdown of the immaculate conception from. They get it from these Egyptian deities. How you had a mother and a son, and the son was rebirthed immaculacy through the mother, and it was rebirthed or whatever. So that's why Osiris is heavily associated with Sokar, right? Sokar is also seen as a solar deity, and solar, particularly in the context of the temple of Memphis, right? So also they were a lot of times Ptah, Sokar, and Osiris were merged together, right? In later periods, Sokar was often merged with Ptah and Osiris into the composite deity Ptah, Sokar, Osiris, representing creation, stability, and death, right? So anytime you see it says Sokar and it has no falcon head, that's a combined composite. You see? Sokar was often combined with those other two deities of Osiris and Ptah, right? Anyway, and what's this? And this is the deity Ptah. Ptah was a central figure in the Egyptian religion, revered as a creator god, a patron of craftsmen, and a god of art and creation. He was believed to have created the world through the power of his word. Yeah, yeah. But that's Ptah, so he's a god of creation, right? So remember that. I'm gonna pull up this article. Once again, composite deities. Ptah was sometimes combined with other deities such as Sokar to form a composite deities like Ptah, Sokar, and Osiris. So they were combined into one deity a lot of into those two other deities a lot of the time. So let me get where's this article here? Right, so this is where they get their inspiration from. Egyptian deities, man. That's why this place was referred to as spiritually Egypt, right? And look at their Oscars, man. Actually, this article, now I'm gonna leave this in the description. This is a good article. It's medium.com. You can't, it's cut off, but it says the hidden origin of the Academy Award. You think you know the story. The Oscar or Academy Award, a top film industry honor presented by AMPAS, originated from Louis B. Mayer's idea in the 20th century. The Academy was established in 1927 to recognize cinematic excellence. Blah blah blah. Let me go to the points here. This is good though. It says the term Oscar reportedly originated in the 1930s, though its exact origin remains debated. One popular theory suggests that the Academy librarian Margaret Herrick remarked that the statue resembled her uncle Oscar, and the nickname stuck. Since then, the Oscar has become synonymous with cinematic excellence, with recipients receiving the iconic gold-plated statue in recognition of their contributions in the art of filming. Blah blah blah. So that's the story. What they say. Now it says, looking back in history, I see that the ancient Egyptian city of Memphis, there was a god symbol that looked like a mummified falcon or hawk. Right. That's going into um, Sokar. His name was Seeker, also known as Sokar or Sokaris. Sokar is an anagram of Oscar, right? Like I said, you switch the S and a O, it says Oscar, right? So, but still, what is linked to the film world? And these are all the deities. This is Ptah. Oh, it says it right here. Sokar. This is Ptah, and this is Oscar, right? Concerning the mythic, this might be so. These two are these two. So I'm gonna finish off with these two paragraphs because they go into it, right? Concerning the mythic underworld, um, this artisan god Sokar was often mentioned in the same breath as a resurrected Osiris and the creation god Ptah. The designers looked at the images of Ptah for the design of the golden figurine. Both figures stand upright and hold a long staff, right? See, that's a staff. An ancient an ancient and universal symbol of the spine. That's why it's no surprise that Old English word Oscar means God's spear. The designers also placed the Oscar, and mind you, this is they designed this. Okay? They designed this. Now, is it by coincidence or did they get some inspiration, right? Let's read on. It says that designers also placed an Oscar on a film reel with 5 spokes. Okay? These 5 spokes, you can see the film reel right here. It says these 5 represent the professions of people who could win the award at the time: actors, writers, producers, technicians, and directors, all creators of the film world. And you can see those 5 spokes right there. He's standing on top of, right? Is this art? It says, I believe this number refers to the 5 classical elements: ether, fire, earth, air, and water, present in every created embodied human being. The Latin sarco is an anagram of Oscar. Even means flesh. Think of the word sarcophagus, a coffin for the carnal body, right? So this is it. So it says, continuing on, it says the figurine measures 34.3 centimeters high. In numerology, 3 plus 4 plus 3 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. The number of the beginning creation. That's why the Oscar is placed in the letter A in the Academy logo. That's the Academy logo right here. See, it's showing you everything is symbolism. There's nothing created. These devils create us by accident. It says to work your way up from the underdog Anubis underworld, your lower chakras, expressed in the ancient Egyptian terms, to reincarnate as Sokar or Osiris in a fleshly body. In this or a future life, you must transform yourself into a new character, like Ptah, right? This is exactly what an actor or actress does when they take on a film role or step into the skin of a new movie character. If this is done successfully in several films, s- skillfully resurrected like the sun, he or she is immortalized with a star on the Walk of Fame, similar to how the Egyptian nobility received a star in the sky, right? So we know that these actors, these celebrities, they're nothing but lesser luminaries. That's why they're called stars, right? And if you're able to um, skillfully resurrect and embody a certain character in a movie, uh, you can win this Oscar award. Okay, you can win the Oscar. Okay, because we know their whole thing with these celebrities, they try to immortalize themselves and become deities themselves, and to be worshipped by fans. You know, let me get this. This is I'll leave this here too. Was the Oscar statue modeled and named after the ancient gods, right? And look at this. That's a whole like these celebrities that are really into this, man. Their whole thing is they want the fame, they want the glory, they want to be worshipped. Okay, they want to be worshipped by people. Excuse me, and a lot of them think themselves to be as a god because they look down on regular people because they feel they're better, right? It's and that's the whole thing of alchemy. Alchemy is uh, changing a certain metal into gold. There's no reason why this is gold plated. I don't know if it's real gold, but that's their whole thing. They want to become gods themselves. And what's the number one rule? What's the first commandment? Don't put any other gods before me, man. You know? So that's just another proof, or that's just another more evidence of this place being spiritually Egypt, going to the Oscar award, right? It's a literal Egyptian deity that's worshipped by not only these celebrities, because they mainly by these celebrities because they they try to embody a character, and whoever does it the best, they can win this damn deity award and try to become deities themselves with that star on the Walk of Fame. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much it. Lord willing, I'll leave these articles in the description. Lord willing, you brothers and sisters were edified. Till the next show, shalom.